Welcome to this week's edition of Mainely Motorsports. I'm here with the Aimster. That's what I call you, the Aimster.
The Aimster, is that my new name?
I don't know why. It's just the Aimster. You know, I don't know if it's a S-T-A or S-T-E-R, but I'm calling you the Aimster.
All right.
So, off another, what I call, and I don't gauge the success of a show off how many people come through the door, how much money you make. I gauge the success of a show off the product that's on the floor and the people that do come to the show, their take on it, and a lot of positive comments on how full the Portland Expo was and the quality of what was inside the Portland Expo.
Yeah, like you said on Friday, like cars from the very front to the very back of the building, everywhere you went, different tracks, and it was like, it wasn't like any of the cars that put like, you know, kind of thrown together or anything, you know, just kind of like roll them in and then you're good to go. Like all the cars were like looking very, very sharp. It was really cool to see just like all the different tracks and, you know, cars that we didn't see from like Lee Speedway being at this show, or Bartlett Bridge wasn't at the last show and then being at this show and having the carts on display and just little different things like that that you didn't get a glimpse of in Augusta, being able to get a glimpse of it in Portland.
No, absolutely, and really a good time. And of course, everybody's probably wondering, like, why is that thing sticking up in the middle? Well, my boy Louie, when he packed everything up, I don't know where the other set of microphones are, so either you would hear me or you would hear her. So hopefully you got a shot of hearing both of us. So yeah, we had to go old school today. I don't know what Louie did with my microphone. I'll call him after we're done taping. And, you know, for all I know, it's still at the Portland Expo in a trash can somewhere. But no, it was a really good time, and you know, every year, you know, you take, I personally take something different from the show, you know, and it was pretty neat to see the effort that Melvin Dobbins put in the Bob Timmons Sr. replica number 10, and obviously I know way before your time, but that was back when I was really getting into racing as a young child, you know, understanding it, and you know, Bob Timmons drove that car. You had the P38 with Homer Drew, the 01 with Dick Walsingham in the LeGros car. You know, just Dick Berggren, you know, Dr. Dick, everybody knows who that is. So it was neat, and I'll tell you, what a tremendous job Melvin did on that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like that's one of the first things that caught my eye, because I had heard about the process of, you know, getting it ready, and then to see it there, and it just looks so sharp. And of course, like Bobby and his father were like so proud of just like, you know, how it came out, and there's just so much history that goes along with that car, and so many people are proud of it. It's just not just their family, but all those other businesses that were involved in the car back then, you know, kind of coming together to, you know, get it ready now, and it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, the same guy that painted it 30, 40 years ago painted it, Warren Hamilton, who's one of the best in the business, you know, and it's neat that, you know, we look at people and we don't realize the ability that they have to do some of these things. And you know, a lot of people see Warren Hamilton doing the, you know, the signs and the wraps and all that. Warren's old school, and I'll never forget when I was a young kid. This is really showing Warren's age. Maybe I wasn't that young, but seeing the name Signs by Warren on race cars that were winning show awards back when I was a kid. I didn't know that years later this guy would be doing some stuff for us, you know, and still doesn't show his age, but really, you know, just amazing. You know, hand-lettered that, and you know, they were awarded best vintage race car, you know, and who could argue with the point? I mean, yeah. Just a beautiful, beautiful race car.
Yeah, and that's another thing that brings up another point about what I think is cool about the show, is that some people have them wrapped and some people have them painted as well, and some people do their cars on their own. So like Ed Johnson's an example. Like he had the whole zombie theme on his car this year, and I was like, Ed, like who did this? It's really cool. And you know what? He actually like bought all the stuff for his car on eBay, I think he said, and did it himself. So it's kind of cool to like see you know, how they've come out, but also learn about the process of how each of these cars got ready as well. Because like you said, like some people still go old school, some people, you know, get them wrapped, and then some people, they're just like do it yourself, which is really cool.
And then you always have the main vintage group that shows you how it was yesteryear, you know, and they had a drag car there. They had the old 99 of Phil Libby.
That was cool.
Yeah. It's not show worthy, but it's what this show is all about. The history of the sport. Then you had the replica of the J2 owned by Steve Murphy. And for so many people, so many great memories. And what was pretty neat is all weekend long, Ricky Drew, Homer's son, spent the whole time in there. Sitting with the car, telling stories, hearing stories, listening to stories. Unbelievable. That car, even though not the original, but that era of that car, the J2, still means so much to Ricky Drew, and to spend the time in there and talking about it and being a part of it. And I got a chance to chat with him a little bit on, I think it was Saturday, and you could tell he was just thrilled to be there.
Yeah, I love seeing stuff like that, and talking about the Maine Vintage Race Car Association, they're a huge asset to Maine racing. And it was funny because in Augusta, during downtime, everyone would be surrounding the TV watching these old school races and talking about oh, I was there then, and this happened, and oh, this is about to happen. And the same thing happened, and they had another successful auction, which you won something in, just stuff like that. Kind of giving us a glimpse of what racing used to be like compared to the cars of today, and just hearing these stories is incredible. But I think, like I said, they're a huge asset to Maine racing, and we can dive deep into the history of Maine racing as well, anywhere that they're displayed, and it's really cool.
No, absolutely, and something that really isn't that old, but big history as far as Maine goes, and that's the old Bush North car that Brad Layton drove for the late Steve Griswold, and that's been donated to the organization, and they had that on display. And so maybe not the same era as the 39 and the J2 and all that, but a lot of history in that series when they were traveling here in the Northeast, and they were the staple. That was when you were a young kid in my era and you were racing, you wanted to make the Bush North Series. That's where you wanted to end up. And they have one of those at their disposal that they're bringing around. So they're really excited about a lot of things they got going on in 2019. Obviously, Summerfest this year, right up at Wiscasset Speedway, the second annual Summerfest at Wiscasset, which is, it's more than the second annual. So I know they're excited. I know there was a lot of talk, a lot of stuff going on in there this weekend about planning for it. So I encourage you, if you've never been, you have to go. If you've never been to one at Wiscasset and you did Beechridge, give Wiscasset a shot. Get up there. Last year I was at Dream Ride, and this year I won't be attending Dream Ride because it's not on that same weekend. So we plan on being at Summerfest and doing our part, and really excited about helping promote and preserve the rich history of Maine racing, and that whole organization does a great job with it.
Yeah, that's actually another thing that's on the bucket list for me in racing. We were talking earlier, never been to Thunder Road, want to do that this upcoming season, and I've actually never been to Summerfest. But I always hear, like you said, really, really great things, and it's something that you do have to do once, and I love Wiscasset, so that's something that I'm looking forward to.
So you're going this year?
I want to go this year, yeah.
What do you mean you want to? You go. You don't say I want to, you go. You just go. Just say I'm going.
I'm going.
I'm going. The Aimster will be there, so you know what we're going to do this week, because you've never been to Thunder Road? We're going to show some Thunder Road highlights from a few years back. First ever Pro All-Star Series race at Thunder Road. So we're going to take a break. We come back. So much more to talk about this past weekend. We haven't even touched on Daytona.
No.
And now that they're 2 weeks into the season. And yeah, so it's all happening. There's so much going on. We're going old school. Looks like it should be one of those ones like that. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's all good. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back here on Mainly Motorsports.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scott's Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of eKeys for Cars of Saco. At eKeys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, eKeys for Cars will come to you. Call eKeys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by LKQ Core. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Located on Route 202 in Gorham. Wiscasset Speedway, Maine's biggest and fastest, with $5 admission every weekend and loads of family fun. Check us out at wiscassetspeedway.com.
Bentley Saloon, Route 1 in Arundel. Stop by and see why me and my friends say, who has more fun than us? We do.
Hi, I'm Sean Moody. We take pride in our facilities, and at Moody's, it's what's inside that matters. We believe it's more than just the exterior looking good, it's what's inside that matters. Restoring the structure of your vehicle to factory specs is critical to your safety. I'm proud of our Moody's co-worker owners who understand the importance of protecting your valuable asset. And we all know what our most valuable asset is. It's what's inside that matters.
Well, welcome back to Mainly Motorsports, and like we said, it was such a great time at the Portland show. And I think the highlights, I have so many highlights of a weekend, but I really enjoy presenting the special awards. We saw it up to the Northeast Motorsports Expo, and those are, you know, I might run it by somebody, like, what do you think? But for the most part, I like to think that I have a lot of knowledge about the sport, a lot of history about the sport, a lot of, you know, the things that somebody can make a decision on and present an award, you know. And then some of the things are true and near and dear to me. You know, they're to do with me, to do with my shows and or the TV show. So, and that's why when, you know, going to Portland, last year we started the Eddie Walsh Dedication to Motorsports, you know, award. And we're talking about a guy that spent 40 years on a flag stand at Beach Ridge Motor Speedway and was there every week and came to the off-season shows and was just supported his local racetrack, and it was his second home, might have been his first home, really. So, you know, last year that award went to Duke Bennett, and he was real appreciative. And this year, as I was thinking around and who's deserving of it and who's been in this game a long time and who's continuing to do, you know, the guy that jumped right to the top of the list was Bill Callen. You know, I mean, Bill works with ISMA, has worked with the Granite State in the past, Lee USA Speedway, NEMA, you know, all of them, you know, has his racing communications radio business, you know, just amazing, you know, travels with teams, goes to Oswego, goes just so much, and I'm like, man, this guy, you know, and then, you know, at the end of the night, packing up his stuff and loading up and pickup and heading home to New Hampshire after a 2-day show, and it's like just crazy. So, you know, he just jumped to the front of the list, and when we announced him as award winner, he was just so busy he couldn't even get away to come over and accept his award, you know. So that meant a lot to be able to give that to him, and how appreciative he was of it after the fact. And then, you know, I like to give one at that show for Mainly Motorsports. You know, there's so many people that help out behind the scenes, and, you know, it isn't necessarily financial as it is moral support and be there for me when you need something. You got a show going on, and a guy that always is willing to come up and drive up or make a phone call or do whatever, or line somebody up or bring cars to a show or try to bring more cars to a show. And, you know, I wanted to, you know, recognize was Joe Bassett. You know, you talk about Joe all the time, how, you know, how he's been helpful in spearheading what you got going on and so supportive of, you know, because it can be, you know, kind of jaw-dropping, in all this. And to have guys like that support you, and does a great job over there. He did it with the McDonald family. He's now doing it with the Wren family in charge, and and I really appreciate. We've become more than just working cohorts. We friends.
Yeah, Joe is one of the people that when I started talking about how I wanted to come to Lee Speedway and I hadn't really been there in the past, he was all about that. And he just supports anybody that is willing to support and build up short track racing, which I love. And he's always one of the first people when I walk in the show to say hello to me. And like you said, he's been through a lot this past year, but you know what? He's still at the show. He's still representing. He's still so devoted to the sport of racing, and he's just one of those people, just super down to earth and just an awesome guy. And he's always present at the racetrack. You're always seeing him here, there, and everywhere at Lee, and just a really awesome guy all around.
No, absolutely. And then the last award winner, I don't think they've ever strapped in a race car.
No.
But I go to these shows and it's so hard. You're fighting weather, you're fighting logistics, you're fighting people getting cars ready, you're fighting, fighting. Maybe you're just fighting because the track you raced at last year or whatever. But you know what? Ever since I've taken these shows over, and ever since I've taken over Mainely Motorsports, there's one thing I could always count on, and that was whether Penny Charette was at Speedway 95, or whether I saw her at Beech Ridge or Oxford, or mainly working at Unity. And I don't call it working, because running a kids club, it is work, but she don't look at it that way.
No.
And now her home at Wiscasset Speedway, she's always got a smile on her face. She's always willing to do whatever it takes, always offering to help me with anything I need. And so I just felt like such a deserving honor to recognize her with the Promoters Award from the show. And she was so happy, and same thing, just taken back by the fact that she doesn't do it for any glamorous glory or awards or anything. She does it because she loves racing, she loves the people, loves the Jordans, and loves all those kids.
Yeah, that's another one of those people that I hadn't really talked to her a lot before this past weekend, and I sat down with her and we had to have a talk for an hour. And she was telling me just all her stories about how she's just been involved with so many different tracks throughout her entire life, and just telling me her stories. And she even said the same thing, which is kind of funny that she said that about the kids club. She's like, it's not a job to me, it's being able to see these kids grow up in front of my eyes and see them coming to sign up for the kids club every week at Wiscasset, and seeing the joy on their faces when they're getting involved with the program. And she's just awesome. She's at every show, no matter whether or not she has to work that weekend or not.
And when I first met her, it was many moons ago, and she was organizing, her and her ex-husband were organizing a benefit spaghetti supper for John Crawford, who was the original owner of Mainely Motorsports. He had gotten her up at Unity, and they were organizing a benefit supper for him and Kim. You know what I mean? So that's Penny. She gives back so much. She did back then, she continues, and 10, 20 years from now, she'll be still giving back. So really appreciative, and of all three of them and what they do for the sport of short track racing that you and I and everybody else loves, and really looking forward to the season as we get closer and closer and closer.
Definitely, I'm pumped for the season. We were talking about, even Bentley's now is just right around the corner, really.
April 25th.
Yeah.
Mainly Motorsports kickoff celebration at Bentley Saloon, and mark your calendars. A month and a half after that, we'll be at Bentley Saloon for the All Eras Car Show, and there's a lot of stuff happening, and we're going to be getting after it. So we're going to take a break and we'll come back, and I don't know, what are we going to talk about when we come back, Amy?
We got to talk about NASCAR. We haven't talked about NASCAR.
NASCAR.
You know I love NASCAR talk.
Oh, I know.
So we'll be right back with you on Mainly Motorsports.
For a trusted name in residential and commercial site work in the southern Maine area, call Peter Pettit Excavating. We can handle everything from the complete house lot to those nasty water and sewer line repairs. Septic systems are another area that we specialize in. During the snow season, Pettit Excavating has the equipment to handle any size job.
And when the race season arrives, be sure to follow the number 7 Hewitt's Family Restaurant Chevrolet on the past Super Late Model Tour.
Call 207-282-9305 to get the job done right. That's Peter Pettit Excavating.
Don't deal with just anybody to seal coat your driveway or business this season. Call Black Magic. They bring over 20 years of experience in seal coating and crack filling. Black Magic's skilled team makes sure the job is always done right, on schedule with quality workmanship at a fair price. Protect your investment in your driveway by getting it sealed with Black Magic.
Ooh, for Black Magic.
My name is Scott. This is Devin. We're the owners of Black Magic Seal Coating. Let us earn your business today. You'll be glad you did.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your Maine returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Patman himself, just letting you know that Patman's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Welcome back to Mainely Motorsports, and we haven't talked about NASCAR since we talked about Daytona.
Sporting my Sunoco cap for NASCAR. The NASCAR segment, so I got to put my Sunoco cap on. I've had it on the whole show.
The official fuel of NASCAR.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we discussed Daytona when it was coming up. Daytona was interesting. I feel like I thought Daytona was fun. Like the truck race was kind of crazy. Xfinity race was kind of a snooze fest with just a lot of follow the leader. But the Cup race really kind of mixed things up. Like we saw a ton of different lead changes. Like we saw Matt DiBenedetto put on a show during the Daytona 500. Led a ton of laps, only to get caught up in some crap at the end there. But it was really, really impressive. And then another thing that I found super impressive is JT Doherty Racing, when AJ Allmendinger was their driver, you know, kind of like one of those cars, you know, top 15, top 20, and they've talked about how they've restructured their team over the offseason. And this past weekend, Chris Buescher got his first top 10. Ryan Preece was running up front all day. Ryan Preece also had a top 10 in the Daytona 500, so I feel like that's a team that's on the rise, and it'll be interesting to see how they do this season.
A lot of buzz and a lot of excitement.
Yeah.
You know, and they got through it at Daytona, and you know, when they unloaded Daytona, pretty much everybody's got a chance to win the race because they're going to wreck half the field. Then they roll into Atlanta, and that's a track that, you know, you got to be able to drive it. It's going to be slick. It's going to be sliding. And you mentioned, you know, Chris Buescher. You mentioned Ryan Preece. Daniel Hemrick, another name that was running up front. You know, so a lot of different people run at the front. You had a lot of the same people. Joey, Kyle Larson. Little shocked right now. I know the Hendricks were the top 4 fastest cars at the Speedway, but they weren't really nowhere to be found at the end. Atlanta, the Hendrick cars they were an afterthought.
Yeah, they were definitely subpar in Atlanta, and it really surprised me because everyone talks about Chase Elliott when we go to tracks in Georgia, like Atlanta, or near there. And he's usually, you know, always up there in the top 5. And Hendrick cars, like, really were underwhelming, like you said, at Atlanta. And it's surprising because, you know, Daytona, they came out strong, but the finishes weren't there either. And I feel like Atlanta, the entire weekend for the team was just kind of subpar, middle of the water, which has been kind of surprising. But it's also been surprising to me this season too that we're seeing some Toyota dominance, and you know, a lot of Ford guys still up there, but like Denny Hamlin winning last week, and it was good. It was good for the sport because I feel like everything that happened over the offseason with that team was good to see. But it's been an interesting first 2 races.
Yeah, and you know, Brad Keselowski picking up a win much earlier than he picked up a win last year. You know, and then you know, Joey, he still looks strong, but Stuart Haas, they're running good, but just, you know, I mean, I know we're only 2 races in and there's no reason to panic, but it's going to be another great year in NASCAR racing. And some of the things that Archie talked about when he was on here, absolutely we've seen happen with some of the changes. And how about their whole deal with the Old Spice and Corey LaJoie, and you know, Old Spice feels like they got so much value out of the whole exposure thing at Daytona that they came on for Atlanta, you know, and I'm sure they're going to pick up some other things throughout the year. So pretty exciting for Go Fast Racing and Team 32, you know, a couple of, you know, I think they had a top 20 at Daytona, or top 30 at Atlanta. So I know they're excited about how things have started off this year with new driver trying to gel with, you know, the team that's been together for a few years.
Yeah, unfortunately, Space didn't fare pretty well in Daytona.
Like somebody poked it.
Yeah, but it was it's really cool to see like such a big, and Old Spice is like, you know, a huge deal. That's like a huge sponsor, and for them to jump on board and have faith in the team is awesome. And like you said, to jump on board again in Atlanta, and the results have been there, and he's shown a lot of promise. Like Daytona, before he got caught up in some stuff, which everyone did, running really, really well. I remember he was running kind of right around where De Benedetto and Priest were for the majority of the race, which was really cool, which was like right there in the top 10, top 5 even, contending, and it was really cool to see. No,
absolutely. So this week they go to Vegas, and just another track, another 2-mile track, and the package that they've changed around this year, try to make the racing a little better. And I think you see it. You see the cars that they don't fall off so much, and for a long time, they got through the first segment and they only had a competition yellow, and they had 30+ cars on the lead lap still.
Yeah.
Unheard of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Unheard of. So I think it's working. I think NASCAR's onto something. Now they just got to figure out how to get people off the couch and into the stands. So that's your next thing, NASCAR. You figure that out.
Yeah, I was Daytona, sold out crowd, which is awesome. That's almost every single year at Daytona. But I remember talking to a friend during the race, and just to see, like, in Atlanta, the grandstands were there, and it was sad for me to see, because I was like, this race is actually like fairly entertaining. It wasn't as entertaining as Daytona, but it's not going to be.
Yeah.
But just to see that in the stands on the TV was just kind of sad for me as a fan.
Just keep plugging away.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to give a motor away. Yeah, we have. It's already done. Can't buy no more tickets. But we're going to give it away, and you're going to watch it right here on Mainely Motorsports.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Hi, I'm Scott from Scotch Recreation. We just had the biggest month in our history. Why? We're selling campers at wholesale to the public, even the 2019s. So what did we do? We went out and bought a bunch more. Up to 40% off travel trailers and fifth wheels, up to 35% off toy haulers, up to 30% off motorhomes. You'll never see these prices again. Over 400 campers to choose from, all at wholesale prices.
Scott's Recreation, Route 4 Turner and Route 202 Manchester, Maine.
Hi, I'm Johnny Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972, and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham, or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Scotch Recreation. Whether you're thinking about your first camper or looking to upgrade your current one, Scotch Recreation can help you. Get both our Route 202 Manchester and our Route 4 Turner locations, and online at scotchrecreation.com.
Where's your mouth?
All right.
I'm just trying to get one.
Just one. There's a lot of things in there.
I think this is one, Steve.
All right.
You know what I'm not going to call you?
Easy to send your number.
We're going to see if everybody can figure this out. A lot of you guys have done a lot of things in racing over the years, am I correct? You got a lot of things to still do in racing. There's only 2 guys who've done what this guy's done. Whoops, somebody's calling me. What? You want me to tell some stories about us? Good. All right, 2 guys have done what this guy's done. He's one of them, the other one's done something. You guys think there's something that you've done that somebody else has done? I'm going to slam this guy a little bit, but only because I love him. The other guy that did this is a living legend. In my opinion, one of the top 5 drivers ever to come out of New England, and that was Ted Christopher. The other guy couldn't even cross the water and fell out of the boat. But he's now the owner of a GM602 crate motor, because him and Teddy have something in common. The only 2 guys that I know that ever ran into a police car at a racetrack, Dodo Puffin.
started talking to me out, and I said, oh yeah, by the way, I got a car I want to give you. She said, what? I said, yeah, I got a car I want to give you. And he says, last night I'm looking for a fender for a $1 guy, I knew I was going to take a car. We have no more of that car, take it to Richmond. We got it right there. I can't wait to call him. Wow. Wow.
It was only an engine, but the best part is when he was trying to fix it, I tried to talk him into.
I might have to do that.
He said, "Buy the engine now." So there's these $500 that I put out looking at. I told you that.
I will.
So congratulations, Joe. Oh!
I told everybody I could win.
Everybody told everybody I could win. So yeah, old Dodo. He said, as soon as I said, Ted Christopher hit the pace car, he knew he won himself a motor. He turned to Dale Libby standing next to him and go, I just won a motor. So, no, pretty cool and pretty neat what he did with it. You know, donated to Brian Hannaford's, you know, accessible, you know, racing and, you know, the things that they do with, you know, handicapped and you know, veterans of the military that have been injured and, you know, in combat and just amazing. And to be able to do that, you know, great job by him, you know.
He said it just happened that they needed a motor to go race, and all of a sudden, you know, it's like.
And it was a car, I guess, that he donated to
Yeah.
them. You know, they had no motor in it, so great job by him, great gesture. Thank you to everybody that bought, and you know, congratulations to the other ones that you know won a drum of fuel, won you know the team apparel package, and won the scanner. You know, and we tried to do a little bit extra. You know, so. No, it was a lot of fun and have everybody standing there and you know see who's going to get drawn out. And thank you to Lee Mortensen, Four Seasons Synthetic, for you know partnering up with us, so to speak, on this and helping promote it. And well worth what we advertised. You know what I mean? They're going to be all good with everything, and it's going to be it was a great time doing it.
Yeah, and it was really cool to see like a lot of people that. That had entered in Augusta, you know, kind of show up during like the hour of when it was given away on.
Because they had a chance to win one of the extra prizes. So.
Yeah, and it was really cool, and it was funny because as soon as you said it was somebody that was in your phone, I was thinking for like 2 seconds, I was like, oh God, like,
could be me.
What if I win?
Yeah. So yeah, it's been you know. I'm not grandma that's only got 7 people in her phone.
Yeah,
I got like 1,100 people, and there was probably 500 of them there. So, but it was good, and congratulations to Dodo, and thank you to everybody that participated, and we'll come up with something again next year. So we're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to take Amy to Thunder Road, but not really. We're going to show some race action and some highlights. The first ever Pro All-Star Series event from Thunder Road, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Memorial Day weekend. So enjoy some past racing highlights after this commercial break.
Servicing differentials is virtually impossible. The confined space makes fill holes difficult to reach, and industry-standard conical bottles are rigid and hard to squeeze. That combination makes for a messy job. Plus, you can't get all of the gear lube out of the bottle, so you have to buy more than you need to complete the job. And engineering your own solution only results in disaster. Not anymore. Introducing the new AMSOIL Easy Pack. Easily access hard-to-service differentials. Easily squeeze out all of the contents. And easily stay clean while you do it. No more leftover fluid or inconvenient rigid bottles. No more trouble reaching difficult fill holes. No more mess. AMSOIL Severe Gear in the new Easy Pack. The solution to all your problems.
Another first from AMSOIL. For a stocking dealer nearest you, call toll-free 877-761-8375 or visit fourseasonsynthetic.com.
Hi, I'm Andy Austin with exciting news about a new division of Beech Ridge Motor Speedway designed to bring new people to weekly racing. Here's series founder Dan Wolf.
Thanks, Andy. Our goal was to create cheap, easy-to-build race cars. Bone stock production cars with a simple 4-point roll cage and proper safety equipment.
We've named them the 21st Century Motors Street Devils. Our 2017 rulebook and schedule are available at beechridge.com and at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
The future of auto racing has always been streetcar divisions because of the low cost.
Some folks are building cars and sharing the driving duties. There's even an all-star car to allow celebrities to try out the Street Devil, and a 2-seat driver's ed car so you can take a few laps.
Get information about our mentor program, low-cost safety equipment, roll cage kits, and videos on how to build one at Street Devils Racing on Facebook.
So, form a team, build a car, and come join us this summer as we kick off the 21st Century Motors Street Devil Division at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway.
All right, I mean, it's hard to say you won finishing third, but talk about this Dale Shaw race car that you guys are building up there.
It's good. I wish mine was the best one, but today it wasn't, and it's pretty awesome to get 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty awesome to get 1, 2, 3, but Bobby got up there for fourth, and that's you can't have a much better day than that unless we can talk Halliwell into getting one.
Yeah, but your win is just around the corner. You're knocking on the door, and this place is a phenomenal racetrack for a fan's perspective, huh?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm sure we put on a good show today. It was a lot of work without the cautions, but just lost the track position there when Jeremy went. I had nothing to go with him, and he made a good run on Joey, but it was a good day for us and pretty unscathed considering it's Thunder Road with me behind the wheel.
No, exactly. But congratulations on a third place run.
Thank you.
Now, there's only one position better, but how big is this for Jeremy Davis and his little engine that could? That's what I call your race team. To come out of here finishing runner-up to Joey Dwyer and being right there at the end, so close to a win.
Yeah, I don't know, the car was really good, and I don't know, I'm friends with Joey and all those guys, and I wasn't going to rough him up or anything, but I hope it was a good race and hope we put on a show. I know first time here for the Pro Stocks in a long time, and it was a good race out of my windshield, so I hope it looked good.
Oh, it was great from a fan's perspective. And speaking of a fan's perspective and out your windshield, you're sitting second, 10, 15 to go. You're probably better than him if you can get by him. I mean, what goes through you? Is it hard to stay on your game? Is it hard to stay focused? You don't want to make a mistake and allow the third place guy to reel you in.
It's I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to believe. You kind of flip the switch on and try to drive him down, and you keep thinking that somebody's going to come up from behind and steal it away from you. But I guess it just we kept pulling away, and I don't know. It was easy to burn them up here. The asphalt's old, and the tires really started to go away. But it seemed like good racing, I guess. I don't know. I guess we just made the right call. All of us pretty much stuck to the bottom in practice and got it to turn on the bottom, and everybody that went to the top really fell off. So it's hard to hit your marks at the end, but when the car is that good, it makes it a little easier.
Oh, it was good, and you did a great job. But congratulations on the runner-up finish, man.
Thank you.
All right, race winner Joey Dwyer. If you're going to win a race, you want to win a race with a cool trophy, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? I walked in today, and they had that thing sitting in tech, and I was like, man, whoever wins that's going to be pretty fortunate. And I hadn't raced here in a long time, and I figured Mike and all those guys had a little more experience. I figured they'd be a little bit better, but at the end it came down to two people that hadn't raced here very often, me and Jeremy, and I was just super fortunate that he was a gentleman racer there at the end. He could have won the race if he wanted to knock me out of the way, but I really appreciate that. I honestly thought he was going to be able to get by me there for a little bit, and the laps couldn't quick off quite fast enough for me.
Yeah, lap traffic, that doesn't make it easy for a race leader. You don't know which lane to take, but he was right there, so you make a mistake, and that's how you got the lead. Hellawell made a mistake, and you took the lead, and you didn't want to be the same thing.
Yeah, that was my biggest worry. Is I just didn't want to make a mistake, and when I got the last lap car passed there at the end, I ended up just kissing the wall at the flag stand, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose this race. I'm going to screw up for everybody, and unfortunate enough, I didn't mess up again, and I were able to keep Jeremy and everybody behind us and win.
Yeah, and if you're going to win your first race of the year, what better place than at Thunder Road?
Yeah, I mean, win anywhere is awesome, but win at Thunder Road is really awesome.
All right, man. Congratulations on win number 1 this year.
All right, thank you.
Guys, 1, 2, 3. Joey Dwyer, your winner today. Let's send it up.
Welcome to LST Landscaping, where we've been providing complete landscape solutions to all of southern Maine since 1969. We specialize in year-round landscape maintenance and snow services, including weekly lawn mowing, seasonal cleanups, sweeping, mulching, and so much more. Many more customizable services are available upon request. Please call our office today at 207-878-1578 or visit our website, lstlandscapinginc.com.
Ignition won't turn? Wait, don't tow it. It may just be a one key. Hi, I'm Jim Broadhurst, owner of E-Keys for Cars of Saco. At E-Keys for Cars, we'll diagnose your problem over the phone and give you a firm quote. No bait and switch here. Whenever or wherever you're stuck, E-Keys for Cars will come to you. Call E-Keys for Cars in Saco, the fast, affordable fix for your car key and lock needs.
E-Keys, they raise the bar. E-Keys for Cars.
Hi, I'm Joni Wolf. Here at 21st Century Motors, we've been in business since 1972 and we take pride in our work. We have a large selection of pre-owned vehicles that are clean and ready. I personally drive and state inspect every vehicle we sell. We're experts at getting your car financed, whether you have good, bad, or no credit. We purchase vehicles several times a week, so there's always plenty to choose from. Come on in and make a deal today at 21st Century Motors in Gorham or online at 21stcenturymaine.com.
Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by
Four Seasons Synthetic. See them for all your AMSOIL product needs. Well, welcome back to Mainely Motorsports, and once again, another successful weekend with Dream Ride Racing. You know, the race team that I've started up, and a lot of work, but wow. Really, we had some athletes come in. They were excited to be there, excited to be a part of it, and all the proceeds that we are trying to gain and attract and solicit and get sponsored, all going to the Hometown Foundation. And we are now at, we haven't collected all the money, but we are now at $25,000 committed to this program. So really cool. Obviously, all the races are going to pay something, you know. So that's been huge. We picked up Advanced Gas, the Wren family's local business, picked them up to be the gold level sponsor for the Lee USA Speedway race, the first race that we're going to. So really excited. Picked up 7 more bronze level sponsors. You know, some people. Dodo's deal was, you know, hey, if I win the motor, I'll do that. Well, you won the motor, Dodo, and you did it. You know, Dan Walker stepped up. Just a working guy, works with you. You know,
Yeah.
Hey, I can do that. I can pay $50 a month. You know, and that's the nice part that we're trying to do with the bronze level and even the other ones. But really, just attract some of the people that might not be business owners, might not be that guy that could stroke the big check, but just wants to be a part of something special and help us achieve our goal of $70,000. You know, Mike and Julie Koziar, he's the clubhouse manager from the Sea Dogs. He's in Portland, Maine. I was in Windham, Maine. I met him in Pensacola at the Snowball Derby. How ironic. Now he reaches out to us and, you know, jumps on board for that. Mike Humphrey, you know, jumps on board. You know, just so many people helping. Jake's grandparents, Debbie's parents come out, you know, just to come to the show and see what we do. Bob and Mary jump on and say, you know what, we want to help. You know, pretty cool. And Speed 51, Bob Dillner finds out about it, sends me a message. I want to help. Sign me up. You know what I mean? So just it's coming together. Still a lot of work to do. We've got a huge event for us in the whole program, as we are headed to Foxwoods. The Grand Ballroom will be the center attraction with the modified for the Bazzuto's Inc. food show, with a lot of your local IGA stores, not only your local ones from around here, you know, people from New York, people from Connecticut, people from all over New England are going to be at this food show seeing our product, and hopefully we can sell some of them on to want to be a part of what we're trying to do, and you know, and far exceed our $70,000 goal. You know, and we get a real boost in the arm this weekend as Bobby Weber Jr. has really stepped up his game. Not only has he offered us the ACT race and calling it the Dream Ride 150 and being a part of that, and we're going to have one of our Mainly Motorsports nights there with the auction stuff we do and everything. He's challenging his teams. He's getting people to collect donations. They raffled off a season's pass, raised $534 towards it. So you know, it's nice to have that little added support that's gonna just make this thing explode.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see. It's crazy to think that like the season hasn't even started and we're already at like a third over, or a third of the way there.
Yeah.
You could say, and I feel like going down to Connecticut is going to be a huge deal, because there's been a few IGA stores that have already jumped on board as sponsors, but this will give you the opportunity to market and network with some of them, and hopefully maybe more will jump on board there, and just kind of like you said, just kind of get the word out about it. And some really exciting events coming up this season. I think the Webers have been hugely fundamental in helping you know, kind of get this running.
Oh, it's huge, and you know, a perfect example. 2 of our races are on the Wisconsin schedule, and the whole deal is basically being self-funded. You know, so that's a big undertaking for a guy that's got a little TV show, works a regular job a little bit. You know what I mean? But I made the commitment. I'm going to self-fund this thing. You know, but Star Speedway, you know, helping and gives you that added motivation. Wisconsin Speedway, they say to me, listen, we know what it takes to run a race team. We know what it takes when you can take the sponsor money and you can help yourself do it. We're going to help you. We're going to do this, which they did. They bought a silver package, and they're a sponsor at the race at Star to help promote their, or Hudson to help promote their race at the Boss Hog 100 or 150. Vanessa said, I'll cover your admission when you bring your team. I'll help you. So those are the type of things, you know what I mean? Because, yeah, it's going to be a big undertaking, and we're excited. Sunoco, John Holland, New England Racing Fuels. What can we do to help? I said, well, we run racing fuel. You got it. So those are things that haven't got to come out of my pocket. So it'll help because there's so many other things that do. You know, the fire suit, the hero cards, the finishing up the mod, the Pro Stocks Super Late model is pretty much ready to go. So really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great thing. I can't wait to hit the track. If you want to find more out about Dream Ride Racing, how you can be a part of it, like I said, $50 a month. And I'm not turning this into a telethon, but a lot of people, Louis Anderson, Brett, my brother, those are guys that just work for a living and like to race. They're not going to sit down and write you a $500 check. But they said, you know what, we can be a part of it. If you can do it for $50 a month, like you said, we can be a part. We want to be a part of it. We want to help. So it's pretty neat to see guys that, aren't your typical business people walking around with wads of money in their pocket, jumping on board and wanting to be involved. So if you got somebody, if you think you're that person, or you got somebody you want me to contact, and I haven't even started knocking on doors, so hang on until I do that. But there's some people out there that we've talked to that really have some interest, and I think this thing's going to explode. And for a little racing community and a little racing team that's going to be based out of Maine and travel to a few racetracks in New Hampshire and hit Oxford and Wiscasset and Beechridge here to raise $70,000+, that's a big deal for a charity.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm excited to be involved in it too. This season, going to all the races and kind of helping to cover them, and I'm just excited to get to go to these different places and just be a part of it all, because I feel like it's a great program, and I've loved seeing just how many people have been wanting to get involved. And I think that that's another thing that's so great about the racing world, is that everyone at the end of the day comes together as a family for the greater good of not just racing, but to to help the community as well. So it's gonna be cool. No, absolutely. So for more information about Dream Ride Racing, the Hometown Foundation, and everything we got going on, you can find me. You know my number. Some of you know my email. All of you know me on Facebook. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back and, I don't know, we'll find something else to talk about, Amy. Yeah, we'll wrap things up on Mainly Motorsports. The Amester says we're wrapping things up. She's already got her pajamas on. She's ready to go to bed. And we'll be right back on Mainly Motorsports. Welcome to Mainly Motorsports.
To order a copy of this show, send a check or money order for $15, including shipping and handling, to Mainly Motorsports, 2 Main Street, Suite 17-103, Bedford, Maine, 04005. And please add the show number in the description of the show.
Football fans, have we got a deal for you? VIP Tour and Charter Bus Company is offering round-trip transportation to Gillette Stadium to watch the New England Patriots make another run for the Super Bowl. Ride in style knowing we're doing the driving. So if you've got a ticket, we've got your ride. It doesn't get any better than that. Just log on to VIPChartercoaches.com, click on the Browse Book Tour button, and book your trip today. It's that simple. Relax and leave the driving to us, and we'll leave the tailgating to you.
Well, as we wrap up this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports, next week we'll have some roundtable stuff that the Amester garnered up and did some stuff, and real curious and real anxious to hear how that came out. And then Dan Wolf, I don't know, I haven't seen how long it is, could be a whole show in itself, but Dan Wolf caught up with Bobby Timmons Jr., Bobby Timmons III, get their take on the car that Melvin Dobbins did, and the whole history of Bob Timmons racing. So we're going to hear that. So much more to talk about with the show, so much more as we keep bringing drivers in. Bring them in, baby, bring them in. We want to hear about your 2019 season. We want to hear why you're here, what makes you want to race. And as I wrap this up, it was such a great time. Charlotte, granddaughter, came in the show, got to take a couple laps walking around with her on my arm, hip, whatever. Jeez, I don't even care. 1 year old, they're still heavy. And one of my stops was over at Lee from Four Seasons Synthetic. Lee, the working relationship we have is way beyond a working relationship. It's a friendship, and I like to think that he knows he can count on me for anything, because I know I can count on him. But we stopped in, he gave her a hat, and we posed for a picture, and I got it on my phone, I keep looking at it, and he's making a funny face, and I'm just like there, and she's probably saying, what am I getting into? But that's her future, going around the show, you know. And then I got to look at the website Monday after the show, just say, hey, look at some stuff, and something happened that I didn't even know happened. And I usually know everything, you know that, right?
Yeah.
I usually know everything that goes on. Something happened that I didn't know happened, and I just sat there and I looked at the picture, and it was of Dan McKay accepting his best appearing super late model with his son.
Oh yeah, I saw that too yesterday.
You know, and you know, I've seen him and his son a zillion times, the racetrack of that. But as I sat and looked at that picture, it hit me how this little boy has grown up to be such a fine young man. You know what I mean? As little Daniel is just, and you could tell he's so proud of his dad, and you could tell his dad's so proud of him. And I took all that from just looking at that picture, you know, and that was pretty neat to see the two of them sitting there, you know, accepting an award, you know. And it just, like I said, I don't know, it's just, I looked at it and I stared at it, and because I've known them all, and I've watched the boys grow up, and watched them do this and watched them want to do this, and now they're into sports, and I just loved it, you know what I mean? And that's things like that keep me going, make me want to do this, and make me want to do so much more.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's all about, you know, watching these kids grow up into being awesome adults, and it's really cool. And I remember it was funny because I was looking through the pictures yesterday too to just see like what we've gotten from the show, and I saw that because everyone else had posted with the representative from
the Zudos,
yeah. And then there was that one, and I was like, oh, this looks different, and I just clicked the thumbnail, and I actually did the same thing and looked at it for a couple minutes too.
Pretty cool. So we hope you all enjoyed this episode. I'll find my microphone so we don't got to look like we got a big dilladoo sticking up in front of me and Amy, and we'll go back to the way it's supposed to be next week on Mainly Motorsports.